Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to August 3rd, our Inner Alchemy session that we have once a month, the first Saturday of every month. And if you do not know me and this is your first time here, I'm Mayaka Anderson. I'm a herbal alchemist, and that means that I work with herbs, but I also focus on the mind, body, and spirit so that you learn how to confront, introduce, deal with yourself. So welcome in. It's 10:30, so we're going to get started. I don't want to keep you too long. I know that it's Saturday and you have things to do. So since it is August, I decided to title this session Harvesting Abundance. So it's embracing gratitude and growth, right? Because a lot of us out here have issues with change, or we don't know how to change. We don't know how to switch one thing for another in our life, or what the change would look like. And then there's a lot of people who just fear change. They just don't know if they change, what will happen. So that is what we are talking about today. And as always, I will have worksheets that I will put in the chat so that even after this session, you can spend time with yourself answering some questions and hopefully get some revelation about yourself and maybe meet who you truly are. So let's see here. Let's get started. I have my little notes here. So again, I'm Mayaka Anderson, and I am the creator of the Inner Alchemy journey that we go on once a month. And today, like I said, we're going to explore the powerful concepts just in snippets about gratitude and abundance, because they do go together. And we're going to uncover how these two things can really transform our lives, the way that we think, and the way that we move around in this realm, and the way that we deal with each other, actually. So this will help us to live, or be able to see, hopefully, how we can live a more fulfilling and detailed life. So we'll begin by just defining what gratitude really is, okay? And what abundance truly means. I have my notes over here. So gratitude is basically the practice of recognizing and appreciating the good, seeing the good in your life right now. A lot of us are always focused on what we do not have, but we don't take the time to really look around at the blessings that we have. No matter what type of life you are living, somebody is praying to live your type of life. You may say, my life is chaotic, it's crazy. There's always someone worse off than you, right? We're always kind of dealing with ourselves and the things that we don't like, things that we wish we had, or people that we wish we had in our life, but we don't really take the time to understand that there are levels to this thing, and there's always someone below you, and there'll always be someone above you. So we have to take the time to recognize, to look around and recognize the things that we do have in our life. Focus on the good and not the what I don't have kind of piece, or what I wish I had. If you do that, you're kind of getting stuck in a void, because you're never really exuding the appreciation, the gratitude to go forth and bring you more of what you're already loving, right? You are focused on the void, the emptiness. And so that is what you continue to receive, because why would you get anything more or greater than you have if you don't appreciate what you have? And nowadays, a lot of people do not appreciate what they have. And if they get what they want, they usually ignore it. It's like a kid, they beg you for a toy, you give them the toy. 2 seconds later, the toy is broke, it's lost. They don't care nothing about the toy, right? And that's a lot of adults. Sometimes we get the things we ask for, and then we kind of toss it aside and we just move on. Okay, now that I got that, now I want this, right? It's like almost like putting trophies on a shelf just to say that you have. But you have to go beyond that to make the gratitude and the abundance work. And not only do you need to be grateful for the things that are in your life, you need to be thankful for the things that people bring into your life, right? It doesn't have to be a personal one-on-one. To say thank you to someone who helps you at the grocery store, right? To write a letter to your doctor saying, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Those type of things, when you go outside of your world to make sure that people, that you are giving thanks to people outside of your world, that brings even more gratitude, not gratitude, but abundance into your life and blessings into your life. Because not only are you thankful for what's going on in your life, in your immediate area, but now you're going outside and making sure that other people know that, you know, I see you and I appreciate the things you do. Because who doesn't want to be appreciated? Who doesn't want to be seen at their job doing what they do? Because a lot of people have thankless jobs. But take the time to say thank you. Thank you to the garbage man, the janitor that picks up behind you, right? The waitress that is cleaning the table that you left like destroyed when you got up from the restaurant. Making sure that people understand that I do appreciate you and I see you and notice you. Those things come back to you, right? And they don't always come back monetary. There's a lot of different blessings that we have that are not monetary, that again, we don't even think about. Our health, right? It could be way worse. The ability to see a doctor, whether you have money or not, still the ability to see a physician, right? These are blessings that are granted to us. Now, when we talk about gratitude and abundance, we definitely have a lot of benefits that come with that, right? So it definitely enhances your well-being, but it broadens your awareness, not just your self-awareness, but your awareness as far as your part as you play in the world and those that you have to play with in this world. We are not here by ourselves. There are other people here. And so we have to understand that these are relationships, and relationships come in different levels. You don't have to have an intimate, personal relationship with someone to define it as a relationship. You have relationships with the people at the bank. You have relationships with the people at the grocery store. These are all relationships, how you deal with other people that you come across in daily life. This also improves relationships, because if you are thankful for the things that you have, you start to understand that you are thankful for the people who are in your life, who are adding value to your life, right? So that helps also. And it increases happiness. If you ever feel bad and you're kind of sitting around at home, if you kind of look at your home and just be like, man, I remember when I prayed for that, or when I asked for that situation, and here, boom, I'm living in it now, or it's real, right? I got that job, or I got that car, or I'm in that relationship, or whatever. When you just stop and think about it. Also, with gratefulness and gratitude, sometimes you think about the past and the decisions that you made, and you're very happy that things didn't turn out the way that they could have turned out, right? Because sometimes we're just out there doing stuff, especially when we're young and we're not thinking about the dangers, seen and unseen, that we could have put ourselves in. And to be even thankful for that and understand that it is a thin line between us that are out here in this world and those that are either 6 feet under the ground or in prison. The very thin line. We could have been either of those, but we are here today, and that is something to be grateful for. So sometimes we need to take time out to really look at that when it comes to ourselves. Let's see here. It also opens minds and opportunities, right? When you are grateful and you're out here and people see you have a grateful attitude, that you have an open mind and spirit, you have more opportunities that come your way. Because people crave that. They want that in their life. And you do have to be careful, because there are energy vampires out here looking for those with hearts like yours or gratitude, because they misunderstand what you're trying to do. So creating boundaries and really understanding who you are and the things that you will put up with and those things that you won't put up with will help protect you from those who are trying to pull on your energy or manipulate you or take advantage of you. And that is one reason we do Wellness Wednesdays on meditation, is getting to know yourself and understanding your weak points, because your enemy knows your weaknesses, right? They know them very well. The problem is we don't know our weaknesses. And so that's how we end up getting played a lot, because we don't really know ourselves and we're not really sure what we'll put up with and what we won't. And then we're always thinking we're missing out on some great opportunity. And I just want to let you know, not all opportunities that come your way are opportunities for you. And so you have to be able to recognize that as well. So my hope is that you gain a deeper understanding of how gratitude and abundance works, right? We are constantly, or we should be constantly looking at, for, seeking all the good in our life. Too many of us are downtrodden, we're worried about so many things, unnecessary thoughts crossing our minds, and it kind of pushes out all of the good things. We go into the woe is me factor, and we have to make sure that we do not fall into the woe is me factor, right? Because then you end up being a victim, and being a victim gets you nowhere. You get stuck. And then we play the blame game instead of moving forward or thinking about those things that we would like to have, those things that we are kind of moving forward to or looking forward to. Also, with your perspective on gratitude, it can change the way that you see life. You start to see it more in a better light, that you don't see so much, doom and gloom, I guess you could say. A lot of us live in the doom and gloom. We feed off of the media, what it feeds us, and we're being fed off of the Facebook and the Instagram, and we're searching for those things that I think some people would call it exciting, or maybe that's what's happening in your world. So you're looking for validation that, okay, yeah, my life is a little messed up. I don't make the best choices, but it looks like everybody's living like this, so I'll be okay. We don't want to be that. We don't want to be that. We want to be our own person. We want to cut off the nonsense and the noise, and we have to learn to understand that gratitude is one of the fastest ways to change your life. And I know this for a fact. I know when I was going through my traumas and my issues, I had bought a book, and my sister got it. She took my book. And I think it was Letters of Gratitude, but it was about a lawyer whose life was just going downhill. He didn't have any communication with his son. His partner had left. He has all these bills. He wasn't getting the clients that he needed. He ended up having to sell almost everything. He ended up in this little tiny apartment. And he had happened to pick up a book about gratitude, right? And so as he was reading the book, he realized that he never stopped to think about the great things that he had in his life, and that he took advantage of a lot of the things and opportunities that came his way. And one thing that he did is that he started writing letters, and he would write letters. He started writing letters to his son. And to his son, first off, he just apologized. And then he thanked his son for being who he was. And he would remind his son of all of the things that he enjoyed about him. He also wrote letters to those individuals that owed him money, clients that owed him money. He sent letters to them, thanking them for giving him the opportunity, and how those opportunities to defend them or help them helped garner more practice for him, and that he learned things, right? That so this was an opportunity of learning. Even though they didn't pay him, he still wrote these letters of gratitude. And he went as far as, like, he sent letters of gratitude to I believe it was like he gave one to the postman. Like, every day he was creating these letters. And not only that, he kept a journal. And so every day he would write in the journal what he was thankful for. He could never repeat, he was thankful for a roof over his head. He couldn't say that again. And if he said that again, it had to be more detailed. Maybe he was talking about his childhood. Maybe he was talking about college, right? Maybe he was talking right then and there when he had to lose everything and be in this small apartment. But over time, things started to come to him. Different opportunities started to come to him. Different type of clients start coming to him. His son ended up calling him every once in a while. And then every once in a while became more and more. And then they ended up having a great relationship because he decided he wasn't going to dwell on the bad. He wasn't going to dwell on what he didn't have or what he has lost. That is gone and done. He can't do anything about that. But what he could do, he could change the way his life was headed. And he decided to use the vehicle of gratitude. This book was very powerful. And so I took that book and I started to replicate exactly what he was doing. And let me tell you, it is the fastest way to change your life, hands down. If you do it every day, it can change your life like this. And so I really implore you to try it. I wish I had the book here so I could tell you the author. Again, my sister took my book. So I do not have the book, unfortunately. But you could probably go on Amazon and just look up books about gratitude. And there's tons of books about gratitude, Thanksgiving, how to live that type of life so that you can create even more abundance, because it really does work. So practical ways to implement gratitude. Okay. And I talked about a little bit with the gentleman's story. You want to start off with positive affirmations about yourself and about the life that you're living. You're going to take all of the positives and you're going to build on top of that. So the positives in your life is now going to be your foundation. Everything else is buried and gone. We can't live in the past, right? And we can't live with a negative mindset because that's just a blocker. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about all of the good things, all of the great things that we love about ourselves, our lives, the people in it, the things that we get to do that we love. And that is going to be our foundation. And you're going to create affirmations and say those affirmations to yourself, especially when you are feeling down or like you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be in life. Let me tell you, a lot of people feel like they should have been further along, but you are where you are. Number one, for the choices and decisions you made, and wherever you're at, you're supposed to be there right now so that you can learn the lessons and then also get the tools, right, to move forward. Life is like a video game. You ever play the video game and you got to get to certain levels, and then when you get to a certain level, you get a new tool. You have to do the work. You had to do the work in the video game to get the new tool. Same thing in life. You have to do the work in life to get the new tool so that you can go to the next level. So you definitely want to have a great outlook on your life and to stay focused on that. And so if that is turning off the news because it makes you think of a lot of negativity, if it means that you need to cut certain people off your social media because they're always putting something on there that just, doesn't sit right with your spirit or agitates you or whatever, you have control over these things. They have block buttons, the on and off button, all of that. You can create your own world in your own little bubble. That's why I like my home. This is my own world. I can be me. I can, be who I want to be here and create and put things around me that I love, that I like, that makes me feel good when I look around. Mindful giving is another thing. Being able to give freely, whether it's to an organization, another person. My dad always told me that if you gave money, never expect for it to come back. If you are willing, if somebody wants to borrow or they want a loan, you give it, not expecting it back. So you don't think of it as a loan or them borrowing. You think of it as a gift if you give. That way, it doesn't make you feel a type of way about the person, right? If you cannot afford to give and not give it back, then that's another story. Then the answer is no. But if you can afford to give and your heart wants to give, do not expect it back, because it probably won't come back. But if it does come back, whether it's the next day, 5 years, 10 years later, that is a blessing, and be grateful that they were able to give it back, because that means that their heart was in the right place, or maybe they got an opportunity where something was gifted or blessed to them and they were able to give back to you. So we have to admit, that's again, knowing your situation. Before you just give. But mindful giving is great. So if you want to pick a charity, if you want to give something to someone that's homeless on the street, and it does not always have to be money. It could be a gift card. It could be a blanket, whatever that you would like to give. Do that. It really opens up a lot of space in your life. Also, visualizing abundance. We talked about this, I believe, 2 Wednesdays ago on Wellness Wednesdays, visualizing as a form of meditation, but taking the time to really see yourself in a space that you want to be in. Seeing yourself at the job or whatever, that relationship that you want to be in, and being grateful before it happens. I'll have to say that again. Learning to be grateful before what you are visualizing happens, as if it has already happened to you and you are feeling grateful and thankful. You take that emotions are very, very powerful, right? They're very powerful. So if you can take that emotion, harness the emotion that you would feel if you were in that situation right now, if your life looked like that right now, and being grateful for it and celebrating it, that is a powerful thing. It brings more to you to get you to that place. But again, you cannot be living 2 different lives. If you want to be in a certain place in your life, you have to look at the vision in your head. And then you have to come to where you are now and say, what in my life right now does not add up? What doesn't transfer over into that life, right? Because if it does not line up or align with the things that you want, you have to cut those things off now, because they are going to stop you. Those are your stumbling blocks from getting to where you want to be. You can't say, I want to be a doctor, and you're taking mechanic classes. It doesn't work like that, right? You can't say that you want a relationship, but you're refusing to go outside your door or talk to anyone. It doesn't work like that. So whatever that you see yourself being in the future, you have to start crafting your personality like that, the activities that you do like that, the things that you watch like that, the things that you read like that. You are now wanting to become that person you see in the future. So you now have to start to walk in those type of characteristics so that it can line up and get you there, right? Very powerful if you can do that. Looks like we're getting ready to come to an end. Before we do that, I definitely want to put these links in here. Oh, what did I do? Put the link in here to the worksheets, you guys. These worksheets are powerful if you take the time to do them, to learn about yourself, what you want, what you see, what is stopping you. So here we go. Those are the worksheets for harvesting abundance. I told you I didn't want to keep you too long. So let's see here. All right. So I want to say thank you for joining. I hope you learned some things or really thought about some things, or how your life is moving right now. If you're stopping in your life to be thankful? Or are you that person who, oh, I don't have that, or I can't do this, or I can't, there are always different options. It may not be the option that you want to move, but there's always a vehicle there to get you there. And it may be ugly, it may be a whoopty, it may be whatever, but you're going to have to ride that until you get to where you want to be. And those things start to change little bit by little bit. And keep your eyes open for those little changes, because sometimes those little changes come in our life and we kind of like it's nothing, right? But that is a sign to you that things are changing. They're gradually getting better and you're on the right path. So don't get frustrated and don't give up. Continue to be on that path of gratitude. Continue to give the love and the grace that you want others to give you. You start to give to yourself first. Right? We have to feed ourselves first, and then we start to also give it to others that we come across. That's the only way that this actually works to turn your life around and actually get the abundance and the love in the life that you were searching for. Again, thank you so much for joining me on the journey of our Inner Alchemy session for Harvesting Abundance. This is my second session. And I hope you leave here feeling inspired. Feeling like there is a mind shift, understanding that you are the captain of your ship and you can focus on those things that are going to bring you joy, that are going to bring you peace, that are going to bring you solace and rest, right? We don't want to focus on the other things, but we really want to be able to focus on who we are, what we want, and how we're going to get there. I do invite you to join me again for September. The first Saturday of September is about Labor Day. So we're going to talk about work, who you are versus what you do, because a lot of us get that kind of mixed up and can't separate work from who we are. I have been there. Me had a very hard time doing that. And we're going to continue to explore transformation together in different ways until we start living the lives that we truly were designed to live in the first place, and let go of all the misconceptions and the unintentional lies that were told as we were growing up. And now we find ourselves in a rock and a hard place as adults trying to maneuver through this realm. It's not easy, y'all. There's so many levels to this thing. Remember, there is abundance everywhere. I remember, who was it? I think it was Mr. Brown who said that there is abundance. Everything is giving. The trees are still giving apples. The orange trees are still giving oranges, right? The grapes are still growing on the vine. There is abundance everywhere. Never let someone tell you that it's not possible because there's just not enough people, or there's too many people in that field, or whatever it may be. There is abundance, and we are all called to a certain type of person, certain type of place. Our assignment does not go void. It will do the work if you do the work. And there are a segment of people just for you. There is plentiful, right? There's no reason to step on each other, but it's always important to give each other a leg up, to inspire one another, and to tell the testimony when you have been probed to tell your testimony, right? Because not everybody needs your testimony. Some people will just throw it out with the bathwater, right? And not even consider what you have said. So we want to make sure that we understand when and where to tell a testimony, but that is part of getting to know yourself. All of this, Inner Alchemy, is just that, dealing with self, accountability, getting to know yourself along the way, right? So let's see, I guess with open hearts and open minds, we are basically done with our Inner Alchemy session. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next month. And as always, family, I pray that whatever you are seeking, whatever you are desiring in this realm, it is seeking and desiring you. Stay rooted, family, and stay well. Until next time.